All right, this is our third talk in our series of morning coffees to help you become a better deer hunter, more successful deer hunter. And our last talk, we talked about a giant buck that I encountered on public land out of Lufkin, Texas. David Crockett National Forest, came off private land. All right, I'm going to tell you a story today where the role is flipped. Living in Tulsa, years ago, the biggest and best archery shop in town was owned and operated by Jim Daughtery. Jim's no longer with us, and this story that I'm telling is out of complete and total respect to Jim Daughtery, six-time former president of the Pope and Young organization, a legend and an icon in this business, in anybody's book, all right? And I think I probably about halfway always wore Jim out. I'm a house painter, apartment painter, Tulsa, you know. And I'd go into the shop there. Of course, I want to talk deer hunting, you know. And if I could ever, you know, if I could get with Jim, you know, and he was cordial and friendly to me. But I'm just a, you know, a customer. I'm a customer, period. And I remember I was in there, bow season was open, you know, it was early October, and I'm talking to Jim. Well, Jim, where are you hunting? You know, I knew Jim was hunting the Mullendore Ranch, had a lease, you know, up on the Kansas-Oklahoma border, you know. The Mullendore Ranch, huge cattle ranch, and it was broken up into pieces, and you could lease part of it. Of course, I had no money for a lease, I couldn't lease. But I knew that Jim was probably had a pretty good piece of property. He's hunting the Mullendore, got leasing a portion of the Mullendore. Well, how you doing, Jim? You know, see anybody? He goes, man, he said, I'm hunting the biggest whitetail buck of my life that I've had a chance to hunt. I'm hunting the biggest buck. He goes, he's a giant. He goes, I'm trying to spend as much time up there as I can. You know, of course, all he does is bow hunt, 100% bow hunting. Oh yeah, of course, I always want, you know, I'd go in there, have you got that buck yet, Jim? No, but I've been seeing him, but I can't get an arrow in him. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, rifle season's coming on, you know, and I'm in the store, you know, and I've managed to get over there to talk to Jim, and I said, well, are you know, just out of curiosity, where you gonna? He goes, no, I bow hunt. I'm going to bow hunt. He goes, yeah, right, but I'll be out there opening day of rifle. But I'm, you know, you have to wear blaze orange, but I'm going to bow hunt. He said, I'm scared to death that somebody else is going to kill that buck. He said, I've got my tree stand literally on the fence line to some public land. This section of the Mullendore that he was leasing butted up against public land, public hunting. He said, I've got my, and I didn't say anything. I thought, you're on the Mullendore. I'm sure it's a great piece of property, a part of the Mullendore. You've got the Mullendore, and you've got your tree stand on the fence line to public land? The great legend, icon, Jim Dougherty. You know, and I remember talking to him a little bit. He goes, well, that's where the buck is. He goes, he's over on public land more than he is. He's coming back and forth. He goes, I'm scared to death somebody's going to kill him. Of course, you know, when rifle season's over with, I couldn't wait to get back into the store. Yeah. I'm sure, Jim. Here comes Roger again. Oh boy, you know. Well, Jim, how'd you do? He goes, well, my biggest fear came true. He goes, I'm in my stand, opening morning a rifle. The rifle went off. He goes, and it was close to me. Across the fence over on public. It was close. He goes, and I could hear him over there yelling. He goes, I knew that they'd killed my buck. He goes, and I got down, walked over onto public, of course, which was legal. It's public hunting. Walked over, and there he was. There, they'd killed the deer I'd been hunting, you know. Wow. And he just made, he goes, I was happy for the guy. He goes, but it just, my heart just broke my heart. You know, the buck I've been after, you know, all the month, for 6 weeks, been trying to, think about it, you know. Got an opportunity, got an opportunity to, on a lease, a great lease, you know, one of the best leases in the state of Oklahoma, and you're hunting the fence line to public land. And bucks don't know. 4-foot barbed wire fence, folks. Listen, hey, are you hearing what I'm telling you? That buck didn't know he was on public land. That buck didn't know he was on a Mullendore lease. Didn't he know that that a legend, you know, is hunting him over here on the Mullendore lease? You know, they don't know. They don't know. I talk about hunting fence lines. Hunting fence lines. Great opportunities for you are out there, no matter where you live, hunting on fence lines, you know. The only thing that you have to do and acknowledge when you hunting fence lines, if you're on your piece of property, you have permission, you just don't shoot across the fence. That's all you got to do. Don't shoot across the fence. Wait till he gets up. But if that's where the buck is, that's where you hunt. I never forgot that story that Jim Daughtery told me. You know, it's starting to come together for me. You know, the deer don't know. No matter what state you live in, they don't know which side of the fence they're supposed to be on. You know who that deer belonged to? That deer belonged to the state of Oklahoma. And a lucky hunter on public land has probably got him hanging on his wall now. In our next morning coffee, I got the humdinger story to tell you that happened to me in the state of Minnesota. All right? You're not going to want to forget. You're not going to want to miss the next morning coffee. Keep your ears open. Listen, I'm trying to help you be a more successful deer hunter.